plus they'll count us down. Coming up tonight on Middle Tennessee News, a Murfreesboro family has been displaced after their house caught fire.
And Mount Juliet police are investigating a string of car break-ins.
And the TBI is investigating the case of a missing baby.
All those stories plus your local weather and sports. Middle Tennessee News starts right now. All right. A South Murfreesboro family is displaced after their townhouse caught on fire Sunday evening. The family arrived to their house full of smoke Sunday evening at 5:45 p.m. Murfreesboro Fire Department was dispatched to a two-story townhome at Rowlett Circle off of South Church Street. There were no injuries, but due to smoke and fire damage, they are not able to stay in their home. The Heart of Tennessee chapter of the American Red Cross responded to the fire and is assisting the homeowners. The cause of the fire is under investigation by the Fire Marshal's Division.
Mount Juliet police are working on a case over stolen items taken from a number of vehicles. According to Mount Juliet police, there were 6 vehicles reported from Windtree and Nicholas Vale neighborhoods that were broken into. Some of the items stolen included 2 handguns, a laptop, and a wallet that was taken from unlocked vehicles. Mount Juliet police are still on the case trying to find those responsible.
According to the Tennessee Bureau of Investigation, a 15-month-old baby, Evelyn Mae Boswell, has been reported missing since December 26, 2019, from Blountville, Tennessee. Evelyn was last seen wearing a pink tracksuit, pink shoes, and a pink bow. Although she has been missing for months, she was entered as a missing child on Tuesday, February 18, 2020. Two Tennessee residents were arrested in North Carolina Friday after authorities found one car connected to the missing child. The vehicle was reported stolen, investigators explained. The TBI says no charges have been placed in connection to the Amber Alert, and Evelyn has not been located. The reward for the missing child is $56,000.
The Blackman High School cheerleaders competed in the national championship with hopes to win it all.
From the loud chants to the true dedication, the Blackman Blaze cheerleaders tackle anything that comes their way, like the national championships at Disney World.
Success to me is just putting forth your best effort, giving 110%, and not just in one area of your life, but in the classroom, in your community, and on the floor and on the sidelines. I want them to find success in all those areas. So that's what makes me want to come back, is just teaching kids to instill success and the idea of success into their own lives.
With their palms in hand and a motto of be the first.
It's not just be the first like on the mat, it's be the first in the community, be the first in the classroom, like show out and be the best person you can be.
For these athletes, the Blaze isn't just a team, it's a family.
Blackman Pride to me is literally all about the family. My sophomore year, I almost quit the team. I went up to the coaches and I was like, I don't want to cheer anymore, I'm not trying out. But literally the only thing that kept me in it was the family.
These cheerleaders persevere to no end, and their success has brought them here.
Their character plays a major role in their accomplishments.
And we strive for impeccable character, and that's our first and foremost goal. And then, of course, everything else seems to fall into place afterwards.
With clenched fists and eyes closed, officials announced the Blaze as second-place winners in the nation. The team will be back next year with hopes to win it all. In Orlando, Florida, Cheyenne Avila, Middle Tennessee News.
Within the past 10 years, the Blaze has won nationals 7 times. This makes it the second time they've been runner-up.
Today, Harvey Weinstein faces 29 years behind bars. A jury of 7 men and 5 women found Weinstein guilty for sexually assaulting a production assistant in 2006 and raping an aspiring actress in 2013. Judge James Burke convicted Weinstein of rape and sexual assault against the women. According to AP News, Weinstein told his legal team, "I'm innocent, I'm innocent, I'm innocent. How could this happen in America?" Weinstein, 67, will always have his lawyers appeal the decision.
Still ahead on Middle Tennessee News, a New Orleans woman has been killed by a Mardi Gras parade float.
And the Staples Center in Los Angeles is holding a public memorial service for Kobe and Gianna Bryant. That's coming up next on Middle Tennessee News. Did I say that?
Dear humans, this is an adoption campaign, but it's not for me, or Mr. Buttons, or Frank over there. It's for you, humans. This is a call to humans to adopt our movement, to adopt our cause.
This isn't just about saving one of us.
It's about saving all of us.
Nearly 4,100 lives every single day.
It's about support for every one of us four, and sometimes not four-legged best friends, waiting to meet a best friend of our own. With Best Friends Animal Society leading the charge.
Shelter by shelter, city by city.
We can make this entire country no-kill. Join us. Together we can save them all.
Us. It's what this country is made of. A helping hand, a shoulder to lean on. Different voices.
Hello.
One sacred bond. But right now, that bond is fraying. Where do we find common ground? How do we get back to us? The why fills the gaps and bridges our divides. Now, more than ever, the why needs your support. Because where there's a why, there's an us. For a better us, support your local why today.
Welcome back to Middle Tennessee News. The festivities have begun. Mardi Gras, that is. Celebrations are occurring all across the country, especially in New Orleans. However, with celebrations in full swing over the weekend, a New Orleans woman was struck and killed by a parade float. 58-year-old Geraldine Carmouche was attempting to cross between 2 sections of a float, causing her to trip over a hitch which led to her death. Whether you will be traveling to New Orleans to celebrate on Bourbon Street or simply celebrating in the Middle Tennessee area, be extremely cautious of your surroundings.
Kobe Bryant and daughter Gianna will be honored today at the Staples Center for a public memorial service. The arena is sold out for the memorial. All of the proceeds made from ticket sales will be donated to the Mamba and Mambacita Sports Foundation. The MTSU community is also paying tribute to the late Kobe Bryant this Thursday with a 3-point shootout. There will be a prize for first place. The event will begin at 6:08 and end at 9:24 p.m., located at the Rec Center basketball court.
A star has fallen in the NASA world as the legendary mathematician Katherine Johnson passed away at the age of 101 today. Johnson helped calculate rocket trajectories and Earth orbits during her 28-year career as one of the first African-American women to become a scientist for NASA. Johnson won a multitude of awards for her work, including the 2015 Presidential Medal of Freedom and the 2019 Congressional Gold Medal. Johnson's life was also portrayed in Hidden Figures, a 2016 film that grossed over $200 million worldwide.
On Tuesday afternoon, CNN political commentator and CEO Angela Rye will be visiting MTSU to deliver a Black History Month keynote address. With this being election year, the theme of MTSU's Black History Month is called African Americans and the Vote. Concluding the month of events, Rye's address will encourage students and the community to vote and be in active politics. The event begins at 7 p.m. tomorrow night and is free to the general public.
What's up, MTSU? I'm Angela Rye, and I have the great privilege of being your keynote speaker on February 25th at 7 p.m. at the James Union Building. Please be there. See you soon.
I'll be back after the break with your full weather report.
Every day, we take a stand for our nation, for each other, for us all. The few, the proud, the Marines.
Idle hands. They say they're the devil's workshop. But give idle hands a place to go, a purpose, and they're capable of amazing things.
From Iraq and Afghanistan, our brave warriors are coming home, wounded. Some with wounds you can see, some with wounds you can't see. Wounded Warrior Project was created to support our men and women coming off the battlefield. Please help carry these warriors the rest of the way home. Get involved at woundedwarriorproject.org.
It started with the original care package, and millions more like it. Passed from hand to hand, across land and sea, to help survivors in the aftermath of war. As we grew, we found better ways to help those in need. Ways to make a real difference, not just today, but tomorrow as well. Be the difference in people's lives. Help deliver lasting change at care.org.
Welcome back to Middle Tennessee News. It was a wet and windy day in Middle Tennessee, despite a high near 55 degrees. The combo of rain and wind made it feel a whole lot colder. We had wind speeds of about 10 to 15 miles per hour, with gusts getting as strong as 20 miles per hour, and humidity levels reached 89%. And the showers we saw today will be continuing into the evening. We're looking at a low of around 48 degrees, wind speeds from 5 to 10 miles per hour, and humidity levels staying in the high 80s to low 90s range. As for the rest of our week, things will be warming up just a little bit tomorrow. We're looking at partly cloudy skies for our Tuesday, a high of 58 and a low of 43. Showers will return on Wednesday with our high dipping down to 45 degrees and a low of 28. Thursday is looking rather sunny, but don't let those clear skies fool you because we are looking at a high of only 44 degrees and a low of 30. And finally, we will be ending our week on Friday with mostly cloudy skies, a high of 46 and a low of 28. That's all for our full weather forecast. After the break, William will be in the MTN Sports Den with the latest on all things Middle Tennessee sports. Stick around.
Idle hands. They say they're the devil's workshop. But give idle hands a place to go, a purpose, and they're capable of amazing things.
From Iraq and Afghanistan, our brave warriors are coming home, wounded. Some with wounds you can see, some with wounds you can't see. Wounded Warrior Project was created to support our men and women coming off the battlefield. Please help carry these warriors the rest of the way home. Get involved at woundedwarriorproject.org.
It started with the original care package, and millions more like it. Passed from hand to hand, across land and sea, to help survivors in the aftermath of war. As we grew, we found better ways to help those in need. Ways to make a real difference, not just today, but tomorrow as well. Be the difference in people's lives. Help deliver lasting change at care.org.
Welcome to the MTN Sports Den. We're going to start off tonight's sports with the MTSU baseball whose home opener was a successful start to a 4-game stretch at Reese Smith Jr. Field. The Blue Raiders shut out 3 of the 4 opponents they faced last week. Middle Tennessee State's 4-game home stretch resulted in a 5-0 win over Bradley on Thursday, a 6-0 win over Evansville on Friday, a 3-5 loss to Sanford on Saturday, and a 4-0 win over Missouri State Sunday to finish a busy week at Reese Smith Jr. Field. Next up for the Blue Raiders is a trip to Tuscaloosa to take on the Crimson Tide on February 26th. Next up for MTSU. Next up for MTSU is our recap of Lady Raider softball, who spent their weekend in Louisiana with 13 other Division I teams. The Lady Raiders are back in Murfreesboro after a weekend in Louisiana for a Mardi Gras Mambo tournament where they won 2 of their 5 games. They took down Northwestern State and Nicholls State on the Saturday, the 22nd. Their next tournament will be the Madeira Beach tournament starting on February 28th. And now we'll look at men's tennis, who played in the Blue-Gray Classic last weekend in Montgomery. The Blue-Gray Classic was a long weekend for the Blue Raiders. They started the trip off with a 4-0 loss to Arizona and a 1-4 loss against Texas Tech on Friday. The Blue Raiders did not leave Montgomery empty-handed, though. They took a big win over Auburn on Saturday, which is the second SEC team the Blue Raiders have beat this season, with the first being Arkansas. Their next match will be at home February 28th at Adams Tennis Complex here in Murfreesboro. Women's tennis improved to winning record after taking a win in each of their 3 games last weekend. The Lady Blue Raiders dominated the weekend, bringing in 3 wins, increasing their record to 7-5. Friday's win was a 5-0 sweep over UT Martin, followed by a 4-1 win over Chattanooga on Saturday. The Lady Raiders then traveled to Clarksville, where they took down Austin Peay 4-2 to finish off the weekend. Their next match will be at Adams Tennis Complex just after the men's match on February 28th. The Lady Raiders basketball team is finishing up conference play with the current spot in the 5th seed. The Lady Blue Raiders split even last week, taking a loss to UAB on Thursday and a win against UTEP on Saturday. The Lady Raiders are sitting at number 5 for the Conference USA and hope to move up in those rankings when they face WKU on February 29th. Men's basketball is having a less fortunate year, but managed to overcome that struggle in Mississippi last Saturday. The Blue Raiders came out on top on Saturday against Southern Miss. MTSU has only 3 games left this season and is currently sitting in last place in Conference USA. Their next game is their last road game of the year and will be in Houston to take on Rice. And that's all for sports tonight. I'm William Stevenson here in the MTN Sports Den. Back to you.
Thanks, William. Thank you for joining us for Middle Tennessee News. I'm Morgan Gonzalez.
I'm Gracie Martin, and if you missed this show or any other show, you can see it on our website, middletennesseenews.net.
Make sure to also follow us on our social media sites as well. Facebook/Middle Tennessee News or at Middle TN News on Twitter.
We'll see you Wednesday at 5.